Hello all, welcome to my channel Codify with Sonal. Today I will be covering what are constructors in Java. To know about methods, variables, data types, you can check out the previous tutorials on Java in the playlist called Java. So let's start. So what is a constructor? Constructor is a special method in Java that is used for initializing the objects. So whenever an instance of the class is called, the constructor is also called. These are very simple statements. We'll see in the demo how we can do it, and I'll explain you. The memory gets allocated during the call itself. When you create an instance of a class with a new keyword, one constructor is called and Java compiler calls the default constructor if no constructor is available. So if you have written the constructor and when you try to create an object of a class, then what happens if you create it with a new word, one constructor is called. If your class does not have a constructor whose object is getting created, Java compiler will call its default constructor. So rules for creating the constructor, as we saw that it is used to initialize the object. So the constructor name should be exactly as the class name. And there should be no explicit return type, and you cannot specify the constructor as static, abstract, final or synchronized. Next, types of constructors. Default constructor where no argument constructor, and parameterized constructor that is basically parameter, right? So with arguments or with parameters, I would say. So let's see this in IDE, how we do it. Now moving on to our IDE, here I have a constructor demo project. Then here I create a new class, constructor tutorial. Okay. So now this is the class and I have a main method here. So before this, let me just write a default constructor for you and show how it works. So I'll write, as we said, it should be the similar to class name. Okay. So I'll just sys out over here and I'll say default constructor. Okay. So now when I create an object of this class, constructor tutorial object equal to new constructor tutorial. Okay, now if I give only this much, I have used a new keyword here and I've just created an object of it. Now let's run this and see. Okay, run as Java application. Okay, it went here and it printed this because it called the default constructor, as I told you, right? Now let's just see parameterized constructor in the form of another class. Like now we go to the employee class, which we created last time in the methods in Java tutorial. You can check that out. I'll put the link in the description box. So now we have ID, right? So we will have it as int ID comma string name. Okay, and here I will do similar thing. Okay, this dot ID equal to ID, this dot name equal to name. Now this dot side is of these variables and this side is of the parameterized variables. Okay, now if I have over here as I, so you see I'm getting this, so I will make it like this, then the warning is gone. Okay, so now we have this parameterized constructor. Now let's create an object of our employee class. Employee emp equal to new employee. Now here I can give the value. Okay, 1 comma string, right? So in quotes. Okay, now if I want to sys out employee ID plus emp dot get ID. Okay, similarly I can sys out the name, and we do it here as get name. Okay, now let's run this, run as Java application. See, default constructor, because we have not removed this constructor tutorial. Then employee ID as 1, employee name as Sonal. So you are setting the values of employee, you're creating an object of employee class and you're initializing the variables. Okay, so this way you can initialize the variables directly without using the setter. I do not have to explicitly do it emp.set, emp.set id, emp.set name, right? So we can do it like this in the form of constructor. This is how constructor is useful for us. And as we saw, two constructors, default constructor and a parameterized constructor. If you have any doubts regarding this constructors, please let me know in the comment section. For previous tutorials, you can refer to my Java playlist. Also, I am doing a tutorial on AWS Cloud Practitioner with the help of real certification questions. Please check that out if you are interested. Till then, stay happy. Let's codify with Sonal in the next video. Thank you. Please like, share, and subscribe, and also hit the bell icon so that you get an update of new video.